from the Signature Bank Studios. This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. I just had a flashback to my caddying days here in the studio because Amy here, for the first time in recent memory, is paying for Uber Eats. And Justin said,
well, he told me what the total was.
It's $38. And you said, just tell him to keep the 40. Gives him 40. You just keep that. You keep the $2. Wow. I mean,
alligator arms over here.
Yeah, Judge Schmales here. Yeah, there's a little something for you.
No, maybe I should kick in another $5.
Maybe you should. Yeah, maybe you should.
I mean, considering how much money my son made this summer at Domino's Pizza, delivering pizzas, holy cow.
Is he paying all the bills in the household like Hunter does for the big guy?
Yeah, he did. He said, Mom, I'm turning the air conditioning down and I'm going to pay the bill. So when I get the bill, he's going to pay for it.
All right. Yeah, I mean,
I know $2 more here.
I know times are tough in radio, but they're not that tough. I mean, come on. All right.
I have a son at Georgia Tech and one at University of Iowa. Yeah. Okay, there's bills that
I understand.
Are coming
and the Uber Eats driver has to suffer as a result. I get it. I heard that line a lot as a caddy. You don't know the bills I have. All right, so there's supposed to be this debate next week. We're having a debate watching party in Schaumburg.
Oh, are we? Am I invited now?
You are invited.
I was cut out of the promo, but
no, you're
invited.
I'm in. You're
right.
Invited. But I don't know if there's going to be a debate. It's supposed to be hosted on Fox. Bret Baier is going to be co-moderating. Big shindig. But then Donald Trump said, let's not even bother with this. Just everybody get out and rally around me, which, of course, every candidate would like to see happen.
Great polls just out, leading by 40, 50, and even 60 points. Who expected that? I did. Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, all very strong, but also leading Biden very big. The sanctimonious is crashing. Perhaps the party should come together. People should drop out of the race. We unify, and we beat Biden and the Democrats. They should be easy to beat because our country has never been in worse condition than it is right now. Thank you.
Thank you. It's maybe the best approach to getting somebody out of the race is to not continue to lampoon their last name. I don't know. Anyway, Bret Baier is the host of Fox News Special Report, as you know, weekdays 5 p.m. A best-selling author of To Rescue the Republic, Ulysses S. Grant, The Fragile Union, and The Crisis of 1876. And we expect he will still be co-moderating a debate we expect will still happen. That's next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Chicago time. Bret, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good morning. Amy, can I get a little something for the effort on this?
I know.
I just chipped in another $2, okay?
Yeah.
I dug deep.
That's much better.
Hey, we don't have TV money over here, Bret.
Yeah.
We're working with radio money. Yeah.
The debate's happening. The debate's happening one way or another. And we still don't know whether the former president's going to be on the stage or not, but it's going forward. And listen, he'll be on the stage even if he's not on the stage. Because he is the guy who's taking a lot of oxygen out of the race. He's obviously the focus, as you heard. I'm not sure I've seen the 60-point lead poll, but I have seen the others. And obviously he controls his destiny and the legal troubles are a factor of that as well. But listen, most of this debate is going to be roughly the same whether he's there or not, and that is substance of the things that Americans care about the most and trying to see how each one of these people deals with it and how they contrast each other on the stage and getting them to do that in this format. There's a big battle to see who's going to be the alternative to the former president, and I think that's what you're looking at if he doesn't show up.
Does he have any deadline imposed by Fox to say yes or no?
It's not by Fox. It's by the RNC. They put in 48 hours. So
48 hours.
Monday is sometime Monday. That said, if he came in Tuesday and said he was going to show, I bet they would bend over backwards to make it happen. I've been through this before in Iowa in 2015, the 2016 cycle, he boycotted the second debate, and we were ready. He didn't tell us until 3 hours before the debate. So we were going on stage with 2 stacks of paper and, getting ready to move a lectern in or out, depending on whether he showed. He did not. And a lot of people look back at that and say, could have affected the few points he lost to Ted Cruz in Iowa.
What's the format? Is it going to be similar to what we've seen before? I mean, because obviously you're managing a lot of candidates again, and people want to see the interplay between candidates to distinguish who's where on what issues. So how do you format that out? Yeah,
so it'll be a little bit looser than before. I mean, structurally, it's 60 seconds for an answer, 30 seconds for a rebuttal, but we're going to try to get those interactions as much as we can on issues, to have candidates contrast each other. There'll be questions that all of them answer. There'll be questions that only a few answer, tailored to them. And ideally, it's not about us moderators. It's about the candidates and their answers.
Now, do you think one of the reasons Trump's not showing up is because he'd have to sign the pledge that he'd have to support whoever the Republican nominee is for president?
He said that, but it's a little weird because he's on the ballot now in South Carolina, and he had to sign a pledge there on the state ballot. They also have to sign one on Florida's state GOP to be on the ballot. So by November, he's going to have to sign that again, which is the exact same language as the RNC has on this debate, basically that if you're not the nominee, that you support the Republican nominee. So he's already signed one. He's going to have to sign another to get on the ballot. It's kind of histrionics,
for sure,
about the whole thing.
More developments with Biden Incorporated. We've now been formally introduced to Robert L. Peters, who turns out to be the former vice president, current president of the United States. How much of the Biden investigation, what is happening with House Republicans, and what has been provided publicly now with former Hunter Biden business partners like Devin Archer, how much is that going to be presented to candidates to give perspective?
Yeah, it'll definitely be there, and we have these buckets of questions, and it definitely falls into a bucket about trust in institutions, etc. I don't know if we'll go deep into the weeds, but obviously on the shows we've been going into that and the pseudonym and what exactly Chairman Comer is doing in oversight to get a lot of that detail. But all of that will be a factor. I mean, the 2 biggest players will be President Biden, first of all, and the former president.
Right. And what about on cultural issues? Because there actually is some real separation there. So some of the other issues, there doesn't seem to be as much. And, there's varying levels of intensity, but not really huge substantive differences. But on some of the cultural issues, based on what Chris Christie and Asa Hutchinson has said, for example, there are some real differences. That's going to be an area of exploration, too, I presume, things like parental rights and the K through 12 context.
Yeah, definitely. Education is its own bucket, and that falls in there. Abortion, there are differences on the stage, and it's a vulnerability for Republicans, as we've seen from those referendums around the country, politically. And listen, I mean, another difference that's really big in the Republican Party is Ukraine.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen with Ukraine, the funding, how it comes to an end. There's all kinds of different nuance to the answers, and some are not that nuanced.
How many candidates made it to the debate?
Currently 8 with the former president. If he doesn't show, it'll be 7 on the stage, which is very manageable. And we did that in Cleveland back 2016. We had 2 stages back then, if you remember.
Oh, yeah.
But 8 was the max on the one stage. There is a chance that the Miami mayor Suarez makes it. There's a poll coming out Monday where he could make it, but he's on the edge. So I think we're either going to have 8 or 7.
Do you have any on this other debate that's sort of being negotiated against the backdrop of the debate that's happening Wednesday, DeSantis and Newsom? Do you have any look into that, or is that outside of your purview?
Yeah, I'm not directly involved. I know Sean is kind of steering that, and it would be fascinating if it happened. I think there was some back and forth about audience and where it was going to be and all kinds of stuff. But both, in principle, have agreed to it, and I think it would be really interesting. That said, Governor DeSantis needs a moment. The former president's right. He has had a rough patch here. His money's drying up. His numbers are going the wrong way, and so he needs to shore up and have a performance.
And just on the Biden thing, I mean, your own sort of communication channels, do you still see the same? I've been asking people about this because it just seems like it's dissipating a bit. Maybe the ongoing investigations ramp it up, but do you see the same level of possibility, the same level of rumor mongering about Biden's future as the nominee in this process that you did a few weeks ago, or are people starting to relax on the prospect of replacing Biden?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I really think it's about the same level, if not more. The more the drip, drip, drip on the investigation, even though you don't hear it on any other channel.
Right.
But there is real substantive stuff happening, and the special counsel is no joke, and is going to bring the tax charges and probably the gun charge in either D.C. or California. That's another trial. We're talking about 5 trials in the middle of this election, and a candidate who clearly is lost a step, and the Democratic Party knows that. So I've not heard any of the talk diminish at all.
And it looks like he's not even campaigning like he did the last time around when he just sat in his basement during COVID.
No, he's not bouncing around. He's clearly just doing a few events, and it's all teleprompter. There's not a lot of Q&A. He hasn't agreed to interviews. I mean, we've asked every week since he won South Carolina. That's how I've asked for an interview. So, and he turned down our Fox Super Bowl interview. So, we'll continue to hope, but hope springs eternal. It's just not springing.
He is Bret Baier. He's co-moderating next week's Republican presidential debate. That's Wednesday, 8 p.m. on Fox. He's, of course, the host of Special Report, 5 p.m. Chicago time during the week, and the author of the bestseller, To Rescue the Republic. Bret, thanks as always. Good luck at the debate.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you, and he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
At Signature Bank, going the distance for business banking customers is what we do every day. We understand that business owners have a strategic mission, a drive to succeed, a plan for growth, and don't have time to wait for a bank to respond. With Signature Bank, you not only have a banking partner that has roots right here in Chicago, but our decisions are made locally too. Signature Bank knows that when you have a question or problem about your business, you want answers. You need someone who will pick up the phone or respond to your text. You need someone who is always there for you. That's Signature Bank. We are a team that wants to get to know you and your business.